Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 50-point game of my eKaya from Circle up against eIrusk from Kador. Alright, so we're going to be playing a little bit of tabletop War Machine here. I couldn't get a game at the store, so luckily my buddy said, hey, come over, we'll have a game, and so that was fantastic. And that's because I just finished painting my army here. As you guys remember, the report I just put up, there's still a few guys unpainted. Now everything's done, so I love it. My entire 50-point army is ready to go, and I can't wait to see how it does. What's in my army is a Griffin, a Stalker, a Gnarlhorn, a Gorax, Feral Warpwolf, Feral Geist, Laris, and eKaya, and then the Getrix. The mission we're going to be playing here is the Incursion. So what it is these 3 flags here. You have to get 5 points. You get a point by controlling one, 2 by dominating. But the crazy thing is that after turn 1, one of them will randomly disappear. And you can't start scoring until the end of, or until the second player's second turn. Up on his side, he has kind of an interesting list. He has eIrusk there on the left. He has the Mechanics with the UA. He has a Spriggan. He has a Devastator. He has the Max Mana Wars minion of the Demo Core. Of course, there's eIrusk in the back with Silas. Then there is the Widowmakers with their little solo ninja. And then some Doom Reavers. So overall, the way that I saw this game going was that a lot of his shooting is going to be useless. I'm going to have Shadow Pack up, he won't be able to shoot me. So that's great news. The Doom Reavers, they're going to run up to me. They might do some damage to me, I'll kill them. But really, the real important part is going to be after. Now, he has all this medium infantry, but since I have a lot of heavies, if I get on all my spells, I'll be really strong. Maybe I can kill a lot of them. And this is then really trying to really watch that peace trade between my heavies and his jacks. Of course, depending on which flag disappears will really change the battle plans. So really at this point, I'm just setting it up hoping that's going to be the right 2, and then going from there. And here's just a close-up of his army. It's always awesome whenever you can have painted versus painted armies, and here we go. Alright, so he had first turn and he was kind of moving up. He has his Tactical Supremacy up on his Man War, so they get an extra 3 inches. So that makes him pretty good, because even when you shield wall, you're still moving 7 inches or whatever it is every turn. So that's pretty decent. Also has a spell up on the Marksman Solo. I think that's his name, is the Marksman, where he gets boosted to hit and damage. So that's going to make him pretty deadly, but I have stealth, so I don't really care too much. Otherwise, his Doom Reavers are really up there in my face, but, that's to be expected. Alright, so on my turn, I move up. I be a little bit aggressive, but not too much. I'm really actually holding pretty much the line and just setting myself up so that when he goes to the flags, I can counter him. Now, I have my Shadow Pack up, so all my stuff is stealth, so most of the stuff will be missing me. And then I also have Forced Evolution on the Getrix. And my Getrix target is going to be his Devastator, because I'm so strong, even with him all walled up. I'm going to mess him up something serious. So he also has pretty high defense, so everything near the Doom Reavers has really high defense right now. So I'm just going to wait for him to come in and then kill him off. So in his turn, it's more just upkeeping his spells and moving up there on the left, going around the flag. He does send in the Doom Reavers, but sends nothing after my Getrix, because why bother? I also had his Animus up, so if he ever hit me, I just hit him back. But he did hit Laris, did lots of damage there. Tried hitting the Feral Warpwolf, but behind the wall, he couldn't manage it. I was able to pull off a counter slam with my one Gnarlhorn, and I missed. And this is where I always feel so stupid on the first turn, is because really on the first turn I have nothing to do really with my Fury. I need to get Fury out there anyway, and his Animus makes it so that if I put on himself, he gains +2 to hit. But I always forget to do it because, I'm silly. My turn 2, and this was this was heartbreaking. Now, one of the things that really sucks is, anything that's around eIrusk, he makes tough for all these infantry here. So I really need to clear up a line to get my Getrix to his Devastator, so I can just smash its face in. And so I kill some of the stuff off. Laris comes over to kill this guy, and he just tough and tough. And so I thought, okay, whatever, that shouldn't be a big deal. With my estimations from measuring my control range, I should still be in. Charge in the Getrix, trying to take out the Devastator, and as you can see here, I am just the smallest of fractions out of being in. So a failed charge, and yeah, a real waste. So otherwise on my turn it looks like this. As you see, I had to use my Gnarlhorn and my Feral to go and clear out some of those Doom Reavers. There's one still there free in the woods, but I'm not too scared of it. Unfortunately, I had to put on Primal, so my Getorix will go berserking next turn, but hopefully that'll mean he'll be killing this Doom Reaver. And then otherwise, you can see, just to make sure he's not going to be scoring, I moved my Gnarlhorn as close as I can to his flag, so hopefully it's in 4, and if nothing else, my Griffin will be there bogging them down and giving them activation issues. His turn 3 now, and he started off by saying he's going to kill 4 of my beasts, which had me pretty damn worried. And one of the things I didn't realize about his army here is that with eIrusk, you can actually go and charge through your own models. So that really changed the way I was looking at how things were set up. I thought with the way he'd have to go around his Mana Wars, may have a counter slam and all this stuff, but no. Plus he also has a spell that gave him an extra dice for damage, so that was going to really hurt. So really what happens is that he charges in and he kills off the Griffin, he kills off the Gnarlhorn, and that's kind of too bad. I was kind of surprised that he actually decided to move back with his Devastator instead of trying to kill me, but I guess he doesn't really need to really worry about it. He tried to kill my Laris, but unfortunately the one Doom Reaver that was on the right side of the wood didn't have line of sight, so he actually decided to use them against my eKaya and didn't really do anything. And then the other guy swung at Laris and did a ton of damage, but I'm still barely alive. So at the end, he thought he was going to get a control point, but unfortunately he's only touching with the Mana Wars, and they're too spread out. And the Demolition Core, they're not touching, so luckily it's still 0-0, and I really got to try and find some way to counter here. My turn 3 then, and I had to be very careful, because what I'd love to do is just slam into these medium bases and kill them all. However, doing that, then his 2 heavies could come in and probably kill 2 of my heavies, and then I'm screwed. You know, even if he kills one and heavily damages the other one, I'll probably be in a lot of trouble. So, what I did here is, at the start of the turn, first of all, Getorix freaks out and hits a Man of War, and I think he's tough or something, but whatever. I decide to drop my Shadow Pack, and that's really because I figured now I'm going to be all in combat, and he really won't have that much to shoot at. So I really wasn't that worried about it, let it drop. What I do then is I use her, pop my feet, so that all my guys, after they're done, they'll come back to me, and kill the one Doom Reaver by me, put Primal now onto the Stalker. He goes over and kills tons of the Man of Wars over by his flag, then comes back over. I put a Ghost there, so the Feral guys, so they'll hit it and won't do anything. And then, I mean, of course, that's pretty much most of my activations already, so I kill some of the stuff around me, but one thing that was kind of unfortunate is that I had too much Fury out the turn before, and so I had 1 on Laris, and he's threshold 10, so I only need to get 9 or less, roll the 12, and wouldn't you know it, he didn't even kill the guy by him because he rolled tough. But anyway, I did a real big strike this turn, and I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously now he's going to start scoring off the left flag, but I think I have enough heavies around that if he does that with his caster to dominate, I can counter, so it shouldn't be enough for me to matter. Alright, his turn 4, and this is going to be his feat turn, and this is where I realized dropping Shadow Pack was a mistake. Just the little damage he was able to plink down, because I mean, Iris comes over, plinks off 3, all of his marksmen are able to plunk off 4, and then, or well, the Widowmakers, and then the actual marksman plinks off even more, and so after they're all done their stuff, I've already lost like a Brance from Getorix. He charges in with his Demo Core. Both the types of units are set up so they have the extra damage dice, and so my Getorix is just messed up. I think he was left with like 2 or 3 boxes or something, so that's really not helpful. He also is able to come in and kill Laris, so that's no good. And then in the end, what he does is he has the mechanics to go, and they're around the 1 flag, so he's able to control the flag, so it's 1-0, and then eIrusk is up there, and he has his jacks over to kind of protect it. So what I need to do now is start my peace trade, and kill off the rest of these Man of Wars, get in there, start killing his jacks, because if I can do that, then I'll be ahead. So that's what I do. The Stalker freaks out and hits the Ghost. Ghost doesn't care. I then put on the whole Primal and everything onto my... well, okay, first before that, my Feral Warpwolf had to kill the two guys that are around me there, so those two medium bases are out of the way. Then I could have all that stuff up on the Getrix, send him in to go kill, destroys this Brigand, and one of the things I was kicking myself for after is I didn't realize just how strong he was. This whole time I've been playing him as P plus S21, but really between him warping for strength, having on Forced Evolution, and the whatever, the Animus for the Gorax, it escapes me right now, Primal, that's adding 6, making me actually P plus S 23. So I actually should have had enough to do some damage to the Devastator, but either way, it doesn't matter. He did his job, killed it. I also killed the last Doom Reaver, so that's a nice thing. Wasn't able to kill the last Man of War, so I can't score, but then the Feral Geist goes over to contest his, and that means it's still 1-0, and so things are looking pretty good right now. His turn 5, and this is going to be again where I'm kicking myself for not having the Shadow Pack up, because what happens is that whereas I thought he'd have to peace trade with the Devastator and be stuck back there, that's not what happened. So what he was able to do is he did some stuff with Energizer, which he probably didn't need to do, but in the end, what it was is that all of his marksmen and stuff were able to aim into combat, even though it was defense 20. With all of his boosting and stuff, he was able to kill off my Getrix just with shooting, also do some shooting into my Feral Warpwolf, doing some damage there. In comes the Devastator, he charges, he boosts his little explosion attack, buys another attack, and does a little bit more. But, yeah, now he has eIrusk over by his flag, who dominates. So that gives him 3 points. Remember, you only need 5 to win. So if I let him dominate again, he's just going to win the game. So I really need to get in there, but now I have a Devastator in my face. He really messed up the Gorax with that Man of War, so that it's pretty messed up. And this is where I really had to decide if I was going to go for attrition or a caster kill. Alright, so my turn 5, and I had some real thinking to do here. I mean, if we were playing time turns, I don't know if I would have made it for this one. But what it really came down to is that, luckily, because of the Stalker and Kaya being side by side, I could measure the control range, and I knew that I could get the Stalker into eIrusk, as long as I cleared a path. Now, what I needed to do was either get the... Well, either way, I need to get the Devastator out of the way, and then I need to clear away some of these mechanics. And at first I was kind of wondering, like, maybe I could just go and pick up the Devastator and throw him, but in the end, the problem is that it's so damn strong. Even with me warping for strength and all this stuff, it wasn't going to be enough, and so... I mean, the odds are is that, I didn't know if I could really throw it, and if I didn't throw him, everything is screwed. So what I decided to do is that the Feral Warpwolf goes first, and he just scraps the Devastator. So Devastator is gone. The Gorax just does its little swings at the Man of War there, does a little bit of damage, but not enough. And then what I do is I send in the Stalker. So I do the charge attack onto his UA there for the mechanics. And that's when I realized already I'm probably in trouble. Because even though with my measurements I was within, the problem is that the mechanic was far enough up that it blocked me from getting there. So I was able to kill him in almost all the mechanics, but this meant that I was more than 2 inches away and couldn't kill eIrusk. You know, I'm still there and I still have, you know, contesting, so we didn't get any points or anything like that. But, you know, again, if I could just been a little bit further, I probably could have actually killed him. His turn 6 then, and what's giving me the death of me? Shooting. So, you know, his Iris shoots me, all of his marksmen and Widowmakers shoot me, and I'm just left with a couple of wounds, and then in the end, it was eKaya going and shooting me with his gun, killing me. He just dominates again and wins 5-0. And one of the things that was just killing me is that not only am I kicking myself for not having Shadow Pack up this entire time, I'm also kicking myself because if I just would have looked at this a little bit better and maybe got more for attrition, I could have at least put up Prowl, because I really didn't need the strength to kill mechanics, and then as long as I was in that wreck marker, I'd have my stealth up, but nope, that's it, and he wins the game. So, victory to Kador into epic eIrusk, and I think really in the end, one of the biggest things that changed this course of the battle is just me being stupid with Shadow Pack. I mean, it's only one to upkeep. I really didn't need to drop it. I just thought that, hey, maybe I'll have another focus on me and, I might as well be a little bit more efficient. But in the end, that just came to bite me in the butt. If he didn't have all those things plinking away from me for those last few turns, it could have been a completely different game. Of course, I need to know my own rules, know that the Getorix charging in is actually at P plus S 23, not 21. That can make a huge difference. And man, also too, who knows how things could have changed on the right if the Getorix would have destroyed the Devastator that turn. It's just one of those things where it's, whenever you're dealing with tough, you can never guarantee anything. All you need is those 5+s to go swing one way, and it just goes crazy. But either way, it was a real fun game, and it's always nice to have these games that go down to the grind, right? Not a fast scenario win, not a fast caster kill, just something that's really attrition, and that's really what this was. So, I hope you like watching it. Bye.